Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited. First A330neo successfully completes maiden flight. NavWorx has closed its doors for now. Evolution aircraft has gone Incommunicado. Hello, I'm Laura Hutson. It's October 23rd, and this is Airborne Unlimited. The coming year promises to be an interesting one for Aero-News and Airborne. We're in the process of designing some of the most aggressive changes in aviation media history, as well as adding some new mission parameters to our programming. We'll have a lot more to say shortly, but there will be changes here and there so that we can fine-tune A&N and Airborne for the next generation. More info to follow. The first of three A330neo family development aircraft to fly MSN 1795 and A330-900 variant successfully completed its first flight on Thursday. The flight originated at Toulouse-Blagnac, France, and lasted 4 hours and 13 minutes, landing back at the airport at about 14:10 local time. The aircraft was powered by Rolls-Royce Trent 7000 turbofans. The crew in the cockpit on board this flight included experimental test pilots Terry Borge, Thomas Wilhelm, and test flight engineer Alain Porchette. Meanwhile, monitoring the aircraft systems and performance in real time at the flight test engineer station was Jean-Philippe Catet, Emiliano Requena Esteban, and Gert Wunderlich. Today's first flight of the A330neo marks yet another milestone along the Airbus journey of continuous innovation, said Fabrice Breguier, Airbus COO and President of Airbus Commercial Aircraft. Airbus has developed a fast-paced development program. This will comprise of 1,100 flight hours for the A330-900 campaign to achieve its EASA and FAA type certification around the middle of 2018. An additional 300 flight hours is also allocated for the A330-800's own certification flight test campaign. Overall, a full flight test campaigns for both models will be performed by 2 A330-900s and 1 A330-800 respectively. After the break, Aviation Explorers launches Youth Representatives Program.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. Two Aviation Explorers have been selected for the first Aviation Explorers Youth Representative Program. Joni Butbol of Skokie, Illinois, and Megan Ryan of Valley Falls, Kansas, were elected to this one-year position by their fellow explorers who took part at the Aviation Exploration Base at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh 2017. Aviation Exploring is a nationwide hands-on program open to young men and women from the 8th grade to 20 years old. On the last Air Berlin flight to arrive in Germany from the U.S., the pilot pulled a stunt that may land him or her in hot water with German authorities. Air Berlin filed for bankruptcy earlier, and the flight was the last transatlantic trip for the carrier. As the plane approached Dusseldorf Airport Monday, the plane appeared to be too high. Then it made a low pass over the runway before banking hard to the left, curving around the terminal and climbing back into the pattern. Of course, there was a video of the stunt recorded and posted to social media. Along with their ability to create stunning cabin interiors, it seems staff at AIM Altitude have other skills to put to good use. For instance, a team of 20 willing volunteers from the company recently took part in the 9th annual Dorset Plane Pull at Bournemouth Airport. They pulled a 77,000-pound Boeing 737 over a distance of about 165 feet to raise money for Wessex Cancer Trust. National Airlines' 747-400 freighter fleet has operated 13 flights transporting 2.7 million pounds of much-needed aid to Puerto Rico and quickly delivered goods to areas most devastated by Hurricane Maria. In addition, the company operated a flight that transported more than 200 stranded cruise ship passengers on its 757-200 on a relief flight from Miami to San Juan. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. The notice on the NavWorx website was terse. The ADS-600B Gen 2.0 product utilizes a GPS module from a third-party vendor. Although the vendor represented their GPS module met 14 CFR 91.227, the FAA recently determined the GPS module does not meet 14 CFR 91.227. We are unable to sell ADS-600B or provide updates for either certified or experimental aircraft. Therefore, we are not currently conducting any business and have ceased operations. We will provide updates if they become available. The company's problems stem from an AD that was posted on the Federal Register on June 6, 2017. The FAA proposed to require removing the ADS-B unit before further flight and proposed to prohibit installing the affected ADS-B unit on any aircraft. The NPRM was prompted by a design change that resulted in the ADS-B units broadcasting a source integrity level of 3 instead of 0. A broadcast of source integrity level of 0 is required because of the uncertified Global Positioning System source included in the unit. The proposed actions were intended to prevent an ADS-B unit from communicating unreliable position information to ATC and nearby aircraft in a subsequent aircraft collision. The FAA said its safety concern was primarily that of integrity and not necessarily accuracy, with respect to NavWorx ADS-B units' performance requirements. After these messages, Evolution Aircraft has gone incommunicado.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight four-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
Welcome back. The folks at Evolution Aircraft are not answering phones right now, and after several weeks of unpleasant news and rumors, it appears that Evolution Aircraft may be in trouble. A number of Evolution customers reported concerns after recent communications from the factory admitted to issues with the business. In early October, Evolution admitted to layoffs and other issues. Tuesday afternoon, October 3, 2017, we had to lay off 22 full-time employees out of 49 total, noted CEO Bob Wolstenholme, who resumed management of the company following the departure of Kevin Eldridge. The company has had more than its share of difficulties. There have been 5 serious accidents in the last 2 years, despite what appears to be a well-crafted design that seems to have been built to a fairly high standard. A recent accident, one with fairly high visibility, has already spawned the obligatory lawsuit and created issues with their insurability. At this point, the company is not answering phones or emails, and its future is cloudy. While a cash infusion may be helpful in the short term, the company is going to have to deal with supplier issues, the accident rate, and the resultant legal insurance issues that have transpired. We'll keep you informed as info becomes available. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne is streamed daily, Monday through Friday. with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. See you tomorrow.